Alright, so here we got an example, sort of fill in the blank guided notes comparing completing the square and doing quadratic formula. So I'll go through it all on the completing the square side, and then I'll go back and do the quadratic formula. So we're looking at this equation here. First thing we'll do is factor out the a value, which means we're dividing by 4 just on these first two pieces. So 4x squared divided by 4 is just x squared. 24x divided by 4 is 6. Then we complete the square. So we think, okay, half of 6 is 3. So we go x plus 3, fill in the square, x squared, 3x, and 9. And then we have to subtract 9 on the outside. So that means our problem looks like this. 4 x plus 3 squared minus 9, and then we have minus 1 there. So I know that can be kind of a lot. I took the 4 and just brought it down here. I took the minus 1 and brought it down here. I completed the square on the inside. Half of 6 is 3. 3 squared is 9. So that's where all those numbers come from. Then we distribute the 4 back in. So there's a 4 in front of the x plus 3 squared. There's a 4 times negative 9. So that means we have negative 36, 4 times 9. So when I write it in vertex form, I've got a 4 x plus 3 squared and negative 37. Now you've gotten it written in vertex form. So what we're going to do next is solve by just doing the opposite to both sides of the equation. So first is add subtract. So we add 37 to get rid of minus 37. So 37 is 4 times x plus 3 squared. Then we divide by a. So divide both sides by 4. 37 divided by 4. Grab calculator if you need it. Is 9.25. And that's going to equal x plus 3 squared. Now you definitely need a calculator for square root of 9.25. And that gives me 3.04. Remember, we get two answers, a positive and a negative. 3.04. That's x plus 3. What we did there is we just did square root on both sides. And then we solve for both x's by going minus 3. So we have two answers. Our answers are negative 6.04 and I guess 3.04 minus 3 is positive 0.04. Okay, so those are our two answers that we got solving it with completing the square. So now we should be able to get the same answers when we go and do it with quadratic formula. So first step, make sure we're in the right form. Our equation equals 0. That's good. So we identify that a is 4, b is 24, c is minus 1. Then we're going to take those numbers, those coefficients, and plug them into the blanks. It's a little hard for me on the screen here. So there's b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So I'm just following this formula right here, putting them where they go. Okay, calculations. Let's evaluate inside the square root. So 24 squared. Let's do 24 squared. 576. And then we also have 4 times 4 times 1, and that's 16. And you'll notice that it's a negative 4 and a negative 1, so we have to do positive. So we're going to add these together, and that gives us 592. 576 plus 16 is 592. Okay, so now we have negative 24 plus or minus square root 592, and then the denominator was 2 times 4. That's 8. Okay, so then we'll do the square root of 592. (24.33). So we have negative 24 plus or minus 24.33 all over 8. Okay, so if we do the plus, let's move this out of the way. If we do the plus, we get 0.33 over 8. And if we do the minus, we get negative 48.33 over 8. And this should end up being the same answers we had before. This one is 0.04. That sounds familiar. I think I did that right. And then the other one is negative 48.33 over 8, which is negative 6.04. So hopefully I did them correctly and I got the same answers for both of them. So you can just see completing the square versus quadratic formula. Really, you could use either one in any situation. They're the same tool for figuring out when your quadratic equation equals 0.